Hello and welcome to this report on the UPE section C. Hang on. Oh yeah, I'm going to cover what you should have done, general things we would like to teach you, and what the AQA itself has to say. So here we go. Here's the question: explore the significance of bad behaviour. So what you should do is decide what the bad behaviour is. You can't just write about bad behaviour. You have to define what Algernon does wrong, etc. So I'm struggling with my buttons here. Once you've decided the bad behaviour, decide what that reveals about that society or what it allows the author to explore about the society. So what does that look like? Brace yourself, that. So if you picked Algernon's fraudulent lying, his deceit, his double life, or what he basically does to Cecily, you might think it reveals upper class privilege or allows upper class privilege to be explored, the ridiculousness of romance, the illusion of romance, or it allows Wilde to satirise romantic drama. So I won't read out all of these, but if you press pause and have a look at the other things. So I've chosen the bad behaviour that I want, and that's what its significance is this bigger social, political ideas about the world. Can't resist doing Tam, his drinking, maybe you think he's impulsive, his lechery, it's a lovely old-fashioned word, allows Burns to explore drinking culture, the fun of masculinity, a male working class life, to value that sort of thing, the significance, what it means about women's place in society, all those things. So the behaviour, precisely, not generally, the precise behaviour, and the things about life that portrayal allows the writer to write about. Oh, that wasn't too bad. So what did you have to do if you had this question? You had to decide how far you agree with this statement. Hang on, what did I say? Right, content debate boxes. What content? You've got to write about lightheartedness, and you've got to write about serious matters, and decide what they are in these texts. Once you've decided, right, that's what I've got to write about, make sure you know what you've been asked to debate. Do you think the texts, these light-hearted texts, are making serious points? Do you think they're simply light-hearted? It always helps to know what you think. So good luck, everyone. Oh, sorry, I should have warned you. So if I'm talking about the Algernon and Jack's terrible behaviour, I might say it seems light-hearted. They argue about muffins. They've got very witty epigrams. They're relaxed and ridiculous and clever and witty. And the serious matter here about the deceit and the false identities, for me, it's not really about that. It's about the enjoyment and the pulling away of polite social cover-ups. Not my best side. I want to write about the prince. You don't have to write about the whole of Not My Best Side, just pick one. Same with Importance of Being Earnest. I'm going to pick the prince. I'm going to say it seems light-hearted. Look at all this modern imagery about built-in obsolescence and gearboxes and things. But it is making quite a serious point for me about how domination is written into our culture. Maybe the flea. I'm just picking one at random. You might want to press pause and look at this slide. It seems very light-hearted. It argues in all sorts of different directions. It's very clever. It's got a very an ingenious image of the flea as an aid to persuading someone to have sex with you. Oh, why did I pick that one? No, I did. It's okay. It was Swift. I didn't. And I might say that might be a distraction, but really it is writing about the double standard and the harassment of this woman and the pressure on her. Maybe done, I don't know what he was thinking about those things, but I see that in the poem. So it might seem light-hearted, but it has got a very serious level to it as well. So yes, have a pause there and have a look at those other ideas. Basically, it's what you had to do. Why does it seem light-hearted? Is it about more serious things? Yes or no? Oh, here's some actual teaching. Here we go. Right, brace again. I'll just see how many. Oh, I've done halfway through. So on your mark sheet, there's a list of advice, and read it all. That is how to write an essay or how not to write an essay. Read lots of examiner reports before this time next year and lots of mark schemes and all of the model essays you can find, and they're all on one page. You're welcome. Read lots of critics. That's the best thing you can do. That's the level you want to be writing at. You could never write about the plot if you've read some critics. My main message to you is to organise your ideas, to sequence your ideas, to put them into paragraphs. And I think I've done a handy table of why that's a good idea. I have. Here it is. It's very small on my screen. So if you paragraph, you put your ideas in order, you refer to the title at the beginning and the end, so more often than if you hardly ever paragraph, and you write in detail in the middle of it. So you get lots of relevance, lots of detail, and people can follow your argument. If you don't paragraph, your ideas are usually a chaotic jumble. I'll write a bit about the title. Oh my God, the narrator. Oh God, I'm going to write about that quote. All jumbled in. If you go off title, you don't bring yourself back to the title for ages. So every time you paragraph, it's a chance to jump back on the title. If you don't paragraph, you might kind of gloss over. You're writing about the whole text all the time. You might gloss over and never get any detail. So basically, sort your paragraphing out. I don't want to see one paragraph on a poem, one paragraph on the importance of being earnest. It's ridiculous. Okay, and here's a final thing I wanted to say about debating. So the exam board says, with respect to meanings and interpretations, significances, students may choose to look at all sides of the debate or just one. It's the quality of the student's response that matters. So if you decide to debate with yourself and you put some ridiculous idea down, you will lose marks for writing a poor quality argument. So we're going to add to that. If you say Tam is light-hearted, but My Rival's House isn't, that's not debating. You have to say some people see Tam as light-hearted, some people see it as misogynistic. That is debating, two different ways of looking at the same thing. So just be clear there. I've read a lot of people throwing in another poem, not being thorough about Tam, throwing in another one, trying to argue. It doesn't mean whatever My Rival's House is like means nothing about Tam. So just be careful of false debating there. So I'm moving now on to what the AQA says, and I thought I'm already at 8 minutes. I thought I wouldn't read them all out, that you might pause on them. So I like this one. Let me read the second half. Don't write about the lives of writers or literary movements or critical theory. Nobody does critical. I had a couple of lives of Oscar Wilde. I have to do this. Students should be told categorically not to write about generalised and made-up comments about any historical period, including this one. So don't do big glib inferiority of women over centuries. Just don't do it. Oh, there you are. I told you categorically. Oh, we are really good at this, actually. First sentence hits the nail on the head. So pause there if you want to read that a bit more. For all students, go for clarity rather than trying to use pseudo-impressive words which are often misapplied, and also write short sentences. Right, here's one for you. Given that students will only write for 25 minutes on each text, your choice is even more important. Most centres and students have understood that the structure of section C is best when you do text A and then text B, and it can be in either order. Text B being the poetry. So don't flip-flop between the two. Most people didn't. Oh, I've got to the end. They think these are quick tips. The AQA have said these are quick tips. That makes me laugh every time. Know your text thoroughly. Focus on the words of the question. Make sure you know what significance means. It means, what does it allow? What exploration does it allow? What does it say about the world? Root your arguments in the details of the story itself. Don't write about any critical theory or critical views in a detached way. Don't just go off on one about them. Try not to write about them at all. Don't write about imagined other audiences and their values. You don't know. Don't write about worlds or society outside of the text. So when you come to the Kite Runner, don't tell me about Afghanistan. Tell me about the picture of Afghanistan that's in the Kite Runner. Think before you write anything. Okay. And make sure that your first sentence is relevant to the question and that you never veer from it. Those are quick tips. Ha ha. Okay. Thank you for your attention. I hope that's helped in some way. And bye-bye.